Rockstar has challenged the community. If we can make $2 trillion from heists this week, we will earn a special reward. Now, with that being said, I assume people are going to be grinding the absolute out of the Cayo Perico Heist. So I thought I'd make a guide to make all of our lives easier. In this video, I'm going to share with you step by step how to complete the heist easily and earn the maximum amount of money possible. So the first order of business is getting the Casaca, which allows you to do the heist for 2.2 million. And then I also suggest getting the Sparrow for just over 1.8 million and attaching the missiles onto it for 240,000, which means that all in, we're at $4.25 million. The next thing to understand are the primary targets. What will you be stealing in the heist? So there's many. If it's your very first time, you're going to have the Madrazo files guaranteed. They go for 1.1 million. And then afterwards, every time after that, you're either going to get tequila for $900,000, the ruby necklace for 1 mil, bearer bonds for 1.1 mil, pink diamond for 1.3 mil, and then depending on certain events, you could get the panther statue for 1.9 million. So for the setups, it's really straightforward. First, we need the infiltration point, which is going to be the drainage tunnel. After that, things are pretty straightforward. All you got to do is start up the heist, gather intel, and then one big tip that I want to give you guys is make sure you fast travel always. Go to like this control panel section, go in, click on the fast travel, and make sure you get to those locations as fast as possible. Once you get on the island, I highly suggest taking this route exactly. It's the easiest way to get to the tower so that you could go look at the security cameras. Be very wary of the trees though. There's a lot of trees and then bushes that look, or trees that look like bushes that have branches that can knock you down. So just be careful when you go through all of this greenery. But once you're out in the open field, which you'll see here in a second, you got to go full speed, hit this side of a cliff, I guess you could call it. Keep driving. You're going to see that there's going to be some patrolling officers here. Just sneak right past them, right through them, go into this field, and then you're driving right up the side of the mountain, right to the communications tower. So that is the simplest way to get there. Very easy. Should not take any more than maybe, let's say, 30 seconds to a minute. Now, the only cameras that matter here are going to be the basement, where you could see your primary target, and then also getting the Office 1 and Office 2 camera, because you may get paintings in there as well. Besides that, don't worry about it. As soon as you've seen those two, you got all your targets, just go start up a new session, make sure the Casaca is set to your spawn location, and boom, you get right into the next heist setup. The approach you're going to take is the submarine approach, so we're entering through the drainage tunnel, going right into the compound, and leaving from there. You're going to have to do the submarine approach setup mission. Make sure that you fast travel to that location. The sonar jammer can be found in 3 different spots, so I'll show you the one that mine was in, and then the 2 other ones I'll shoot at, you'll see on screen. Those are the spots where you could find the sonar jammer. And then on top of that, you're going to have to do 3 more equipment setups. Once again, make sure to fast travel to this part on the map that I'm showing you. It's the closest one to all 3 of the setups. Depending on what primary target you have, you're either going to have to get a plasma cutter or the safe codes, and then you're also going to have to do the cutting torch and the fingerprint scanner every single time. And the final thing you're going to have to do is the weapons loadout, and I suggest doing the marksman. This gives you an assault rifle with the option to put on suppressors. It'll allow us to get headshots from close and far range, which is something that we need, so get the marksman. But there's something that could save you a lot of time on this. If you load up the mission and you get Merryweather HQ, load into a new session. Of course, make sure the Casaca is your spawn location, but load into a new session until you don't get Merryweather HQ. It's going to save you 5-10 minutes, so trust me, do that every single time. It is now time for the heist itself. So we have the Casaca. We are entering through the drainage tunnel on both of those. The escape point, it does not matter. Click whatever you want. Time of day, I usually do day, makes it easier to see. And then make sure you put suppressors on. We're going to load into this, and the footage I'm actually going to use is a run that I did where I was on hard mode, plus I had the pink diamond. So probably the best scenario you could have as a solo heist. So the pink diamond is usually 1.3 million, but if you don't know, hard mode is essentially where after you complete a finale, there's a 2.5 hour cool off period where you could do the next Cayo Perico heist. But once that 2.5 hour period is up, there's a 45-minute-ish grace period after that, where if you start up another heist, you activate hard mode. And hard mode gives you a 10% boost on all of your loot. So if the pink diamond is normally 1.3 million, it's actually going to be boosted up to over 1.4 million, which is what I had in this scenario. So please keep that in mind. Another thing to remember is the elite challenges. If you complete this heist in under 15 minutes, the finale is under 15 minutes. if you fail 0 hacks, if you have full loot bags, and of course don't do any quick restarts, you will then get $50,000 if you don't have hard mode activated, and $100,000 if you have hard mode activated for the elite challenge. So 2 great ways to get extra boosts when doing the heist. So with all that being said, obviously we cut through the drainage tunnel and now we're up here. I highly suggest taking this exact route and exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just going to narrate this whole finale for you guys. So we take out those first 2 guards. The second and third ones that we just took out are the hardest ones to time. Do whatever you feel comfortable. If you need to take longer, don't rush the whole process. That guy that we just took out will sometimes turn around and start walking towards us if you're taking too long. So keep that in mind. But the main point of that whole process there is just don't rush. Make sure you get the proper headshot. If you shoot and you miss once, you could always take him out on the second shot. Don't worry, you won't trigger the alarms, but just make sure you don't take your time. Oftentimes when I personally mess up, it's just because I'm rushing things. So that's the main thing. Of course, make sure you always check the wall safe and take all the cash out of there. In this case, we didn't have any paintings to grab, so we're heading right into the fingerprint hack. And with the hard mode activated, we're going to have 4 fingerprint hacks instead of 3. So also keep that in mind. It really doesn't add that much time. This hack is very simple. If you really need to make it as easy as possible, just literally go in order. So if you're on like the 4th panel down, just start from the first panel and then just move forward 4 and you get it. It's the fingerprint hack, so simple. And then of course on this one we got the ruby diamond, or the pink diamond, sorry, I'm getting 2 different ones mixed up. Usually this takes about 5 full cuts through. I don't know if that makes sense, but holding down until it almost overheats, you do that 5 times, you cut through the glass. And then we got the pink diamond, and this is the easiest part. All you gotta do is just go to the left here. There will be the juggernaut and a guard walking in our area where we're jumping off at some point, so just wait for them to pass, and then you're just gonna run over here. Don't worry about alerting anybody. Running won't alert them, even though you're relatively close to them. So now we are finally through the gates. We are through, or we're past the hardest part, at least in my opinion. This part here is pretty simple. Take out the first guard there, keep running. You're going to take out the second guard here, and then this one's a little bit trickier, but just shoot the guard on the right. The guard on the left is going to react. Just wait for him to stand back up again, and then you take him out that way. Pretty simple. We're going to hop on this motorbike, and then this part is pretty important as well. Follow the exact path that I'm taking, because once again, these trees are lethal. These things can take you out. They can clothesline you. So make sure you don't hit any trees. We're going to come over here, take out another guard here and another camera. And then this is one of the secondary loot spawns. So we did not research these when we first gathered intel on the whole island. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. These will still spawn if you don't do that. There sometimes will be nothing here. So keep that in mind. You won't always get your loot bags completely full. And actually in this case scenario, you'll see that we don't get our loot bags fully filled up. There is a second area where you could possibly find spawns just over here to the right. You're going to have to take out these 2 guards from long range. That's when the suppressor and having an assault rifle comes in handy. And then we're going to come through here, and unfortunately there was nothing there, so we were stuck with just a 1.87 million, but that is still an incredible take. If we were able to fill up the loot bag, we probably would be at like 1.9 million, and then with the elite challenge, an additional $100,000. It would be insane. So take out that 1 guard that's at the dock, take out the second guard here because they are blocking our entrance, and then you're actually just going to hop into one of these speedboats, and from there take off. There is going to be a guard boat there, so watch out. Don't go too quick. You have plenty of time. At this point, it should probably take you 8-9 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, so you have plenty of time. Don't worry about not completing the elite challenge in 15 minutes. Just wait for the guards to pass, and then you take off. You drive for another, it's probably 10-15 seconds, and we are done the heist. And that is the finale. That's the easiest route I've found to take. Very simple, and this was one of my biggest ever takes. Almost 1.9 million, just grinding it solo. Got really lucky with the pink diamond, which I think has like a 10% chance of spawning in the situation I had it in, plus having hard mode. So you will see the full take here. We had just over 1.6 million. So we completed the finale in 10 minutes and 10 seconds, but we did not get full loot bags, so we did not get the elite challenge. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please drop a like. If you are new, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.